Let's get into the Houston Rockets versus the Los Angeles Lakers game, right? So last night it went down, and as expected, I told you those young boys, they run. They got out and they started running. They was running fast. The pace was fast in the first quarter, and we held on. You know what I'm saying? We only ended up down 5 ending the first quarter, but realistically, we wasn't hitting no threes. They was hitting shots, they was hitting threes, they was moving at a real fast pace. Anthony Davis started off blocking stuff right in the first quarter. So yeah, that's good. You know, that block party is still bumping. Those beats is still, sending sound waves throughout the league that defensive player of the year belongs to him. So that was a good thing to see. LeBron James started off cold. Let me see. D'Angelo Russell cooked a little bit, not nothing crazy. He was getting fancy. We started off good. I felt as though we started off good because remember, anytime we knocked down double digits in the first quarter, to me, logically, that's a good thing for us. That's a good feel. Not to mention when you add the fact that Cam Reddish was playing this game, Vanderbilt, Jared was back in the lineup, right? Yeah, so we had some good news. We had some good things rolling. Christie still started again, Max. And he did okay throughout the game. So I'm not really mad at that. I see a little confidence growing in him, even though I'm not really sure there's room for him. But he did logically from where I'm coming from. He did look better than he's looked, right? Like, because the last time I told you, like, I don't see it. Like, finito, out of here. And today, after seeing last night's game, maybe, but there probably still isn't any room, but maybe he could be like a nice, spark, later on down the season if somebody gets hurt or whatnot. He can, step up his professionalism and be ready when his number is called. But basically, like I said, the first quarter started off how I started off. The young boys was running. We ended up down 5. No problem. Second quarter. The second quarter, things were interesting, because Austin Reaves, he usually holds down that second unit. And Austin Reaves, started off, just with, building a brick house. He couldn't hit. I'm talking about from the same spot. Brick. Wide open. Brick, right? And, so I was kind of worried about that because at that point, I wasn't really impressed with the Houston Rockets, and I wasn't at all disappointed in the Lakers. The game was in a limbo. It was it could either go this way or it could go that way, and it was like that for a long time, right? Because remember, they started off kind of hot. We ended up cutting it down to 5 in the first quarter, and then it just was limbo. It was like a bunch of bricks. Both teams was building brick houses. And then, out of nowhere, AR-15, he loaded the AR-15, and he went crazy. He dropped 15 points. He dropped 15 points in the second quarter, and that's what sent us on a run. We was on a 24-2 run, but Austin Reaves had 15 points. He was getting busy. He was in there just cooking. He's like, look at the flick at the. He was doing all types. That move where he drive and then he stopped. He got some crazy mid-range, always get the N1, and yeah, he was getting busy. Who else was getting busy for us? Cam was playing. Yo, let me tell you something about this defense. I am excited. Logically, from what I see, we're going to be a good defensive team. Because when you added Jared Vanderbilt into the lineup, and then you got Cam Reddish with that energy, right? You got Anthony Davis had another game, 5 blocks, I think. 5 blocks. Block party. You know what I'm saying? So when you add that type of defensive energy into the lineup, oh, man. D'Angelo Russell ended up with 5 steals. You should have seen DR. DR was out there playing defense like he was a linebacker or a safety. He was out there playing the passing lanes. He ended up with 5 steals. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you're going to expect from the team as a unit, right? So, shout out to Austin Reaves. Shout out to Austin Reaves because Austin Reaves set the tone. He's the reason why we won this game. He's the reason why we blew it open. The 15 points that he scored put us on a whole nother level. That momentum, remember, the game of basketball is a game of runs. That run, it was a marathon. After he started going crazy, it was a marathon. And then, not to mention, when you add the GOAT, right? When you're looking at LeBron James, right? The current GOAT, right? He did a pirouette. He went baseline, hooked the dude, went up. He was going to go underneath like it was supposed to be a regular jump, but then there was another defender there. LeBron James did like a pirouette. Like, Google it. You gotta Google it. Like, Google it. He did a pirouette and it still went in, and he got the and one. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, the fire that I seen that was ignited, it was beautiful. And it all started with defense. And I will say, because I've been kind of hard on Darvin Ham. We was running plays. We was running plays, and that was the thing that, like I said, in the first quarter, even though we was down and the young boys was running, and then the second quarter, I told you, it was that limbo period, I wasn't upset because we were running plays and we just wasn't making shots. Like, Anthony Davis started off, he missed a couple too. If I'm not mistaken, Anthony Davis was like 0 for 6. Like, Anthony Davis was 0 for 6. LeBron was like 0 for something. And what's his name? Austin Reaves was 0 for something. Like, it was looking like a donut party. It was looking like a cop convention. You know what I'm saying? With all of the donuts, like, brothers couldn't buy a basket, but we was filling that defensive column. Yeah, and them offensive rebounds that we usually give to the opponents. Yeah, they didn't exist in this game. Not like that. They had some offensive rebounds, but they wasn't impactful. So, like I said, we applauding that. We're applauding Darvin Ham, right, for calling plays. Even though, at times the shots didn't go down, but we were running plays. We applaud Cam Reddish and Vanderbilt for bringing that defensive mindset to the team. We applauding Anthony Davis for those 5 blocks. We are applauding D'Angelo Russell for those 5 steals. That's what I'm talking about, man. The Lakers gonna be looking good. Once you insert Rui into that lineup, oh man. Then we got Gabe. Like I said, I still don't know what Gabe Vincent gonna do, but hopefully he do something. So as we went to the third quarter, we went to that second half. We knew these young boys was gonna try to make a push, but in all honesty, they just couldn't put the pieces together. They kind of reminded me of the performance we put up, the other night in OKC, where once we got down, we couldn't get back. Like, everything was going in their favor at the times that we needed to go in our favor. And I will say, shout out the Ime Udoka. Like, he's actually, he's really a good coach. Like, the same thing he did in Boston, he gonna do in Houston. I'm like, there's no doubt about that. But speaking of Ime Udoka, he ended up getting thrown out the game. He got tossed out the game. Him and LeBron James had some words after it wasn't really a scuffle. It was like a little bump from Cam Reddish to, what's the dude named? Eason. Some dude named Eason on their team. Cam bumped him after he fouled him or whatever. They called the tag. There's a little bit of chopping going on, teams like chill out. And then somehow LeBron ends up on the sideline, and him and Ime Udoka is having a conversation in front of the referee. And then the referee, calls like a double tech or a tech. I think maybe he had a tech earlier in the game. But anyways, he gave him his second tech and he was out the game. So I'm assuming, if I got to assume using the logical mindset that I have, I'm thinking Ime Udoka said something like, oh, you think you that good, LeBron? Like, the only reason why y'all winning because the referees is calling everything. He had to say something like that because the referees sucking y'all bleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to say something explicit because of the referees explicit, right? And then the referee was like, nah, not in my face, you ain't gonna say that, and he tossed him. So he ended up getting tossed, which really didn't make a difference because it wasn't like they was making any real legitimate push. I will say that they did get it down to 11. Then we would push it back up to 17. Then they would get it back down to 11. And ultimately, when Darvin Ham took the starters out of the game, we was up 17. And then that second, third string that we got, they almost let this second, third string of the Houston Rockets come back. That Jordan almost was like a single-digit game for a minute. Them young boys in Houston was trying to get buckets, and we was just throwing more bricks. That second, Hood Schifino and the Lewis kid that I said that I thought I liked. They was just throwing up Brick City. So let's go into some individual performances before I wrap this video, because this. I'm happy. Logically, this was a good win for us. We was in a good position to play Laker basketball. We were running plays. Yeah, we were posting up. Anthony Davis in the paint. That jumper still ain't crisp, but in the paint, he got all his buckets in the paint. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at some stats. Let's go some stats. So LeBron only had 16, which we're not even worried about, right? Because Anthony Davis had 27, 14, and 5. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he had some big numbers. LeBron did have 7 assists, I will say. What did he do from the free throw line? Because the other day he was perfect from the free throw line. LeBron was 2 for 5. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. You go 5 for 5 at the free throw line, then the next game you 2 for 5. That's LeBron James for you. But let's look at some more stats. Let's go. Prince had 11 points. D'Angelo Russell only had 9 points, but he had 5 steals and 7 assists. This is the type of Laker basketball I'm talking about. We would like for him to get 17, 20, right? But if you're not going to get 17, 20, like get us 7 assists and get us 5 steals, right? Yeah, that's important, right? So I told you your boy Max Christie, 12 points. You know what I'm saying? He had 7 boards. He had 12.7 boards. Pretty sure maybe a board or two came, you know, in trash time, but you know how I go. Austin Reaves, 18 points. 3 steals. Even Austin, this is what I'm talking about. Austin Reeves had 3 steals. Tayshaun Prince had 2 steals. LeBron had a steal. This is what happens when you implement defensive energy guys, right? When you put them in, this is everybody starts playing. Like Anthony Davis is blocking shots. Cam Reddish blocking shots. LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like this is good. I like where we going. Like you see what I see, right? Yeah. Only thing I will say is like LeBron James 35 minutes, Anthony Davis 36 minutes. We need to shave off like 3 minutes, like because like I said, when you look at Hayes plays 6 minutes. That didn't even make sense to me. Like why would Hayes only play 6? But maybe LeBron just wanted to play. I don't know. When you to go, you can do what you want. So logically, where the Lakers are at right now is in a good position. I told you in the last video, we just needed to get healthy. And we got healthier this game. We got 2 players that are monumental in our championship run, and they showed it. And I will say that the Houston Rockets are not they're not at the top of the food chain. But I told you, in terms of a young team, in terms of things that are kryptonite to us, they did possess in terms of running fast and being young, and they did have a good coach. And like I said, at first we were losing, and then we came back and we was winning, and like it was over after that. So that's my take on the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets on my first game back home after that 2-2 road trip. And yeah, I can't wait to see once we get Rui and once Darvin Ham gets the minutes down packed. Like once we know how many minutes Hayes is gonna play, or gonna give us 10, 12 minutes. What is he gonna do consistently with those 12 minutes? What is Rui gonna do with his 22? What is Cam gonna do with his 22? Because Max Christie he played 28 minutes. Alright, so like 4 minutes was like garbage time, trash time. You know what I'm saying? So 24 minutes, yeah, that's Rui's time, because Austin Reeves 22 minutes. Austin Reeves probably would have played like 3 more minutes, but we was up big. So Christian Woods 11 minutes, Vanderbilt 13 minutes, and Vanderbilt, I will say, even though he came back, he's not 100%. He's not 100%. You can see it in his stride, the way he was running. Like, but once he gets back with the energy, oh man, I'm telling you, man, the purple and gold. I'm telling you, be aware, man. It's the logical Laker. Check it out.